Before we start our video today, Broncos Country, which is all about Von Miller, should Von retire as a Bronco? I want you to get in and give me as many responses to this question, which is going to be the pinned comment of today's video, and let me know if he should retire in the navy and the orange. I'm going to say yes, and obviously he's not ready to retire just yet. However, there was an interview that he did where he kind of closed the door on playing for the Broncos, but didn't really close the door on playing for the Broncos. It was completely up in the air, which is to be expected for somebody who has spent as much time playing in the NFL as he totally did. In this particular interview with Kevin Patra, who is an NFL senior writer, basically what Patra goes on to say is that Miller has a goal of making sure he beats DeMarcus Ware for 13th most all-time. 16th most all-time. Well, actually, we put him at 15. He's 16 currently, would put him at 15. There we go. We got it. And that's kind of why he wants to continue to play. He still feels like he's got some juice left in the tank. The Super Bowl MVP was asked about a return to the Broncos, and Von, which we'll get to in here just a little bit, kind of says, yes, it's possible, and no, not right now. It's all up in the air at this point. So it sounds like Von is leaving the door open, even just a smidge, to potentially playing for the Broncos again. I'm going to spoil the rest of the video for you. It's not going to be in 2025. So if you're thinking that there's a shot that he signs with the team this year, you're out of your mind. It's just not going to happen. Von actually went into a deep dive about playing for the Broncos again and said, if you look at it this year, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. They've got two really great pass rushers with Jonathan Cooper and Nik Bonitto, and they're incredible rushers. And the guys underneath them, they can play and generate sacks too. Oh, and by the way, they also do it on special teams as well. He goes on to say that he's 36 years old. He doesn't play special teams. I completely agree with him. At this point in your career, you're probably not going to take a role where you're a special teams player. Von is a pass rusher. That's what he does. Now, the question that I started to formulate beyond 2025 and beyond this upcoming NFL season for the Broncos is, will there be room for Von come 2026 and beyond? And I think that's the major question that you have to start asking yourself, because looking at the Broncos front five currently, if it's slated like this for the next couple of years, there's no shot. These guys are younger, they're faster, they're more athletic, they're in their primes, or closer to their primes, I should say, than Von Miller is. And the truth is that signing Von Miller either in 2025 or beyond this year would be simply so that he could retire a Denver Bronco, which kind of leads me into my first question that I asked you at the beginning of today's episode. It's not to bring in somebody that could legitimately add so much more value to this pass rusher room already. And the last 4 seasons, I mean, can we all agree? Like 2021 was great. But 2022, 2023, and then 2024, you're starting to see the descent of Von Miller. And that's okay. He's 36 years old. And if he's claiming that it won't happen in the 2025 season, that means the next available time that Von would be able to play for the Broncos, he'd be 37. How many 37-year-old pass rushers do you know that are still getting 10-plus sacks? I don't think there's any. So if you're thinking that there is still a need, a position of value, or that he brings an extra element to this pass rusher unit as a player, then you're fooling yourself. But if you think that he could come in and have a spot on the roster, a rotational player that gets in every so often and can mentor this young pass rushing duo of Jonathan Cooper and Nik Bonitto, then I think you have something to talk about there. Because Von's role now is more so of the mentoring. It's more so of the wrapping up this already historic NFL career. And he is a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that. And I think I speak for everybody when I say this. It would be amazing to see him retire as a Bronco. But will he? Well, I'll answer that question, in my opinion, coming up here in just a little bit. But if you want to see Von in a Broncos uniform just one more time, do me a favor. Like the video. It's free. It not only helps us grow the channel, but it also proves to me that you love Von Miller and Broncos football. So hit that thumbs up button before we continue. And speaking of before we continue, this Bo Nix T-shirt, by the way, that I found on Fanatics is so dope. I'm thinking about ordering one of these myself. So if you want to go over and check this out, all you have to do is use the link that I've put in the comments and description of today's video. Listen, I love Fanatics. I love everything that they have when it comes to their gear, gearing up for the 2025 season. So I'm thinking about getting myself one of these shirts, but you can get any type of apparel that you need with this link right here, like I said, that I put in the comment section of today's video. Start shopping with Fanatics today. I do think he'll retire a Bronco. And I don't think it's this year, and it might not even be next year. But if there is an opportunity where he comes out and has a mini retirement tour, I don't mean a tour like you would see in the NBA. But if he comes out and announces, this is going to be my last year, I think that would entice the Broncos, or at least give them a little nudge to that front office to say, let's go show him how much we appreciate him, how much we love him, sign him. It could be one of those things where maybe he doesn't even see the field that much. Maybe he comes in, a couple times a game or once every other game. I don't know what the schematics look like. I don't know what the actual breakdown looks like. But if producer Jack, if we could show them his career stats as a Bronco, I just want to give you guys kind of a picture as to what he has done for this organization. I mean, let's just take a moment to marvel at this for a second. These are insane numbers. This is clearly one of the greatest Broncos that has ever laced him up, period. Point blank, end of story. There's a legitimate argument that he's a top 3 Broncos player of all time. That's not for me to discuss at this particular point in time or at this particular juncture, but I think there's a definite argument for it. So, if not this year, that leaves the question. Does he play in 2025? Or does he just take a year off and wait? Well, I do think he's going to play in 2025, considering there are so many teams in the NFL that need a pass rusher, and Von could make perfect sense for any one of these 5. The Packers need pass rush help like I need air to breathe. The Washington Commanders, they're trying to bulk up that defense to make sure that, on the flip side of football, Jaden Daniels has the best opportunity to win football games. The New England Patriots don't really have anybody. Harold Landry, who they got in free agency. The Bengals have 0 pass rush help. I mean, Trey Hendrickson, yes, is amazing, but the likelihood is that he's going to get traded. And the Carolina Panthers were awful on defense last year. So all 5 of these teams could use somebody of Von's caliber. And I personally think the Commanders will make him an offer. Probably right before the season begins, probably closer to the vet minimum, and they'll probably use him as a rotational edge rusher. And that's just a way for him to stay fresh, stay limber, and try to beat DeMarcus Ware's sack record to put him at 15th all time. I think that's where he's at in his NFL career. He just wants to show, hey, I can get to this particular number, solidify myself as top 15 all time in sacks, and then from there, we'll see where the wind takes me. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. And speaking of that, if you made it to the end of today's video, you're a real one, and I want you to prove that. So type real one down in the comment section below. I'm going to try and give you a thumbs up for every single real one that I see. That's going to do it on today's episode of the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. Remember to like the video. We're trying to beat June's like record. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, be cool.